Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 3rd of November. The Fed did what was expected, increasing rates by 0.75%, or 75 basis points, however you like to call it, it's the same, taking the higher rate up to 4% now. That wasn't the real cause of the moves in the markets yesterday. That was the expectation. It's the cause of the moves was the additional comments that it's expected that rate increases will go on for longer than originally expected. In other words, we'll see a higher terminal rate. So that's the moving in the market. That's what caused the movement. Initially, we saw the sort of spike. If it comes to 60-minute, the spike up. That was the expectation. Sell on the news, surely. But then the rest of the news came out and hold on a minute, and people chewed through that and realised, well, you can see what's going on at the moment. So that leaves us looking at inflation figures. They'll be even more important going forward into the next month or so, but for now it's turned the case here for the euro for a moment at least, and a lot of other currencies. Before I look at those though in detail, quick look then at what's out today. And well, he says Bank of England is the key one. There are more than one. There is more than one speaker, I should say. We've already got one running, or should have one running already, and there's a number of ECB speakers running through. In fact, there you go. 7:50, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8:05, 8:10. So whether they're at a panel, I'm not too sure, because I know. Draghi is speaking to due to a panel discussion here. It might be the whole group of them sitting there. So watch out around that. But already we I've seen one speaker's comments in terms of inflation is very high in the eurozone. There you go. It's clear we need to raise interest rates. That's the thought for there. There's no surprise then. Anyway. So Bank of England, 12 o'clock is key one today, and then we got at 12:30 we got Bank of England governor speaking. So the pound may be off a bit off limits this morning. We'll see, but expected 0.75. Again, as I said yesterday, it's the future that people will be looking at, and any future guidance will be key there. Okay, so as I've already said, the euro's sold off again today. It's broken the sort of levels, and yesterday it closed down. Today it's broken my little trend line here. It has on the 4-hourly really spoilt things to a degree. It's put a lower high in. I say spoilt it if you were a bit bullish. It had looked like it was going to hold into the new monthly pivot, but it's broken through that. And certainly below that now, looking quite bearish. Getting into a trade at the moment is quite dangerous. I'm sure there were some divergence traders that would have been trying to jump aboard earlier. They've been bitten. A retracement might give an opportunity. There may be better opportunities across some of the cross pairs this morning. So I am bearish on it, but need to be patient now. Same old it seems in the mornings lately. The pound, well, the pound slipped off as expected yesterday as well. Still looking okay-ish where it is, and we're still expecting a higher rate, so that might see a bit of a bounce. But it's behind the curve against the US dollar, and things technically recessionary wise aren't looking great either, so and looking probably poorer initially at least. So off, it's below its monthly pivot now at this current stage. Again would be, well, treading carefully this morning. It's down to its daily S1 already, just through its monthly pivot there. I personally, I'd leave this until the news is all out, done and dusted on the pound. Dollar yen's been holding up okay. The US dollar has is a bit stronger. It's probably not what the Bank of Japan wanted to see, in terms of the currency had been coming down quite nicely. It had lower highs coming through here, but now it's just looking like it's going to put a higher low in, and maybe against the dollar at least be weaker. As I say, it's held its own against other pairings, cross pairings, but just coming up there, that will give us the higher low, and potentially we could be running towards its R1. Aussie dollar. Morning, Michael. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. Well, it's no surprise what it's doing here at the moment. It's selling off. It's looking weak. Sentiment, ironically, had changed on it, but the technicals here are still looking weak, and low again. Really, with that spike, it's confirmed a lower high from the original high, and bearish engulfing 4-hourly bar sitting there at the moment, leading into 8 o'clock. Similar pictures to the other markets here. If you didn't know what they were and didn't see the numbers down the side here, you'd find it difficult to part them in terms of what they've done. Canadian dollar. Okay, this is inverted. This is US dollar. US dollar CAD. You might guess this one's not the euro or the Aussie. Anyway, pushing up here again this morning. Looks like a bullish engulfing 4-hourly. It's broken the trend lines that I had across my 4-hourlies there, and high low. So again, pushing through, but it's a bit of a patience game, waiting for something here. You could jump aboard and try and ride it, but well, you probably need to put a much bigger stop on it. Any retracements might be a bit sharp. That's the CAD. Okay, that's pretty much it from the majors there for now. Looking at gold then, once again, gold. I mean, it's been struggling gold anyway. I'm being quite bearish on gold, and it's sort of a case of watching it, trying to get up there. It's okay. It's caught its monthly pivot now, and it's on the underside of that, and rolling off. It's through the monthly, the weekly. And as I said, looking well at this rate, it could be on for the S1 and beyond. But again, just like many of the currencies, same sort of price action here, and a bit of patience may be needed. Oil, generally when the dollar is stronger, oil is weaker, but it's holding its own a little bit here, even with the movement coming through. It's not done a great deal to oil, as I would expect. It's looking on the more bullish side. Still got the high lows running through on the 60-minute, 4-hourly time frames, showing the same, and it looks like it's climbing. For those that are more into the sort of swing side of things, I still think there's got reasonable possibility to get towards back towards the $100 as we move into the winter more. Right, that's the commodities. Let's go and have a look at the other markets here. Quick look at crypto. Just mostly this. I'm going to just show you this. Actually, they're up a little bit at the moment, but they had the same sort of effect last night or yesterday evening, coming off quite strong. At the moment, they're on a little bit of a bounce going on here. I'm just looking right the way across the pairs here. They are. I've got the dailies here. I was just checking. I've got a daily show. They're on a bit of a bounce, which is a bit unusual. And what's drawing that, I'm not so sure. But that could be given back quite as quickly. Certainly, looking at Bitcoin, looks sort of the weaker of some of these. But just sort of hanging off there a little bit. Crypto, Ripple, not really going anywhere. I'm surprised at these, to be fair. It's sort of going the opposite way to the way it's been going of late. Moving towards the indices, all just thinking back to the cryptos there, it just may give sellers the opportunity to come back in. CSI 300 then. Not really done too much last night, but a bit of uncertainty. The Nikkei's off a little bit again. That was closed. Beg your pardon. Or was it closed? That's Wednesday. No, it's closed overnight, so it was closed. Bank holiday. Nifty 50 gap down. It's trying its best to get some positivity back in there. Still more bullish than many of the markets at the moment. S&P's off this morning, and the S&P's really didn't like the news yesterday evening. If you come down to the shorter time frames on here, you can see pretty much the same sort of price action we saw with the currencies. The spike up and then hold on a minute, got that wrong, and the big sell off. So similar price action through here. It's not what a lot of stock traders wanted to hear. Dow Jones still the strongest, but that too is also coming out. The baby's going out with the bathwater, as they say, and that has been the strongest. And Nasdaq, as I said, it is the weakest, and it's possibly got some more downside coming in through today, as it's certainly looking the softest of the US markets, major markets. CAC, strong bearish bar yesterday, and this morning it's a little bit uncertain. DAX similar. We're 2 minutes away from the FTSE, but it was down on the close. I would expect this to be following suit with the US markets. Actually, the DAX was up slightly on it's up slightly overall. Maybe that there are the signs that we might get a little bit of a bounce on some of these markets, but I'd be very wary. Be wary particularly of the FTSE with the data coming out later. So that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.